Hi, I'm Natalie from High Left Off Road, where you dream it and we build it. And I'll be one of your hosts on this episode of Chic Chat. Chic Chat is a place where we celebrate the perfect fusion of style and adventure. Jeeps have long been synonymous with ruggedness, freedom, and the spirit of adventure. And who says women can't embrace all that and more? Right, Janet?
That's right. I'm Janet with Precision Graphics and Marketing. And ignore that comment right there because it's not true. You can brand your legacy with the vinyl that I prefer to use if you choose to do so. But we are, Natalie and I are the B team.
Yeah! And the beehive is back, girl.
The beehive is back. If y'all watched last time, the hair was flat. I just had, we had fresh hair days. The beehive is back. We're not going to get away from this.
We do the hair report. I do like our hair report. So, this is like, it's just one of those days. We talked about sleeping with it wet. Here we are. So,
yep. Yep. And this hasn't been washed in a few days. So it just goes up in my little beehive bun and there's random like hairs sticking out. We're not worried about it.
It's perfect.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
Everything's fine. Everything's fine. And we do have our wine of the night. So I'm sticking with the white for right now. I swear I keep going back to it, but this is a new one to me. We have Flyby because, Charlie.
Yes, I love that.
Not approved for a Flyby, never, but we still do it.
Negative Ghost Rider.
Negative. That's right. So Sauvignon Blanc tonight from California. Yes. So true. That's probably what we sound like. And I'm actually doing a really fun Kentucky Derby Oaks Cup tonight. So the Kentucky Derby is coming, guys, and I'm in Kentucky. So we're all getting ready for it. We're getting excited over here in the Commonwealth.
Do you have your hat ready? Aren't you supposed to have like a giant hat?
I do have a couple. So one of my best friends is getting married there actually in October, and it is a Derby themed attire. They want you to come in hats and the bow ties because they're getting married at Churchill Downs. So pretty cool. Shout out to Vicky and Josh. Can't wait, guys.
That sounds fun. Exciting. Well, I'm it looks like wine. We're gonna pretend it's wine because I didn't grab any at the grocery store. But this, if any of y'all drink, if you like sodas and you like the carbonation and the flavor, there's Rocky. Ice flavored water is the way to go. It's bubbly. It gives you the same, warm feeling.
Right. And that's what we're kind of looking for. We're going to turn that water into wine. How about that?
Here comes Jesus again.
Here she comes. Or he comes, whatever. Anyway. Hey, Rick.
Hey,
thanks
Rick
for joining us.
There's the other Rick. Yes.
So go ahead.
Let us know, Natalie, what you did this past weekend, because I've seen pictures, but our listeners want to know.
So back at it, guys. The season, I feel like, is officially here. It is March. And we debuted the Wheelin' and More with Nat and Matt. So Matt from High Left Off Road, the shop foreman, and I have started doing classes together to start building, confidence and teaching. And it's something when he and I met, we started talking about right away, not only because our names rhyme, but we both have such a love and passion for teaching. So we've been doing indoor classes this winter. Everyone wanted to kind of get out, right? So this class that we did this weekend was at a off-road park in Indiana called Badlands Off-Road Park in Attica. Oh, okay. Pretty cool. So privately owned park. And that's actually that's where I had my first off-road experience. So you never forget your first time,
I love it.
Yes. And so we wanted to bring that magic back. And really, it was my first time really getting a lot of seat time in red. I have not really. I haven't really done a lot in it. And so Matt and I went on Friday to pre-run because you want to be prepared when you have a whole class coming out. We had 7 rigs and pretty much everyone brought a partner, like a passenger, and they drove too. And so we ended up having 14 people and 7 rigs, and it was amazing. And it was everyone's first time. So
that's fun.
It was really cool. So we had some that were, on 37s. We had actually a lot of 2-doors. I had 3 2-doors. That's a lot to me personally, because I feel like the 4-doors take over. But man, and it was actually a lot of women. So
I love it.
It was awesome.
Nicole, we're talking about you. We're going to get you out on the trail.
Yes. I actually had 5 lady drivers and our 2 men drivers, which were amazing too. But, this was a co-ed class, but I was so excited to keep seeing the registrants come in, and it was these women drivers. So,
That's
you know,
amazing.
it was really neat. You know, we take you from the very first moment when you get there,
Mhm.
like how, you know, we go over in the classroom, like how to air down, but now you're in a real world situation. The elements, it was so breezy, windy here. We had some major weather come through.
Yes.
And let's just say this hair was even worse than what it is today. I'm still pulling knots out of it, but the rain held off. But you know, when you're at
Good.
that trailhead, we've talked about that feeling of, do I belong here? You're
Mhm.
nervous. There's, you know, so much going on. And this park is interesting because it's everyone goes there, from side by sides to you know, Polarises, to Jeeps, to trucks. I've seen Porsches there too. Like, it's kind of a mix of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Interesting.
it's a major distraction at the same time. So it was pretty neat. Really, really special. A lot of people conquered some fears, and you know, from when you start rolling out, oh my gosh, am I even in four low? You know, making sure everyone's doing that. Because a lot of times it was their first time ever putting their vehicle in four low.
That transfer case would just fight you if it
Oh
moved
yeah.
on a while without ever changing,
Yes.
your what you're doing.
Hmm.
The first time that you go to put it in four low is you're going to fight it.
You are
And
gonna fight.
you're trying to keep it at like 2 miles an hour and you're
Yes.
still trying to fight.
Because rolling helps, like being at a standstill,
Yes.
especially in the JLs. I'm learning the JLs are a little bit finicky. That computer system can be very intimidating.
Mhm. Yeah.
Where the JK Love for you and
Yes.
I do find is a little bit easier. It's a little bit more approachable.
Mhm.
So kudos to everyone in JLs, because they intimidate me a little bit. I'm not afraid
Yeah.
to say it.
Yeah. And I work in computers and I don't prefer JLs just 'cause the computers scare me. Like
Yep.
one system goes wrong and you may be just in limp mode for a while. So yes,
Yes.
shout out to the JKs. Love the mechanical part of it. And
Yes.
JK is where it's at.
It
So
is.
sorry for all you
It is.
JLs, but we can talk about it later. But I
Um,
remember, so at the end of the season last year, when
yeah.
we were doing one of these 101s, you were concerned because there weren't a whole lot of women. You had a women's run that y'all were going to do,
It
and you
was
didn't have
lady
that many
driver only.
women. Yeah, and
Yes.
you didn't have that many that signed
We
up. So
didn't.
now here we are at the beginning of this
Yes.
season, and you have a lot more.
And it was supposed to be, you know, it's co-ed, so it wasn't prompted, you know, lady driver only.
Mm.
And it was just amazing to see it. And some of these women actually they've been out before, but this was their first time in a more structured teaching situation. So at this
Mhm.
park, we developed our own trail system that I've been doing for a little while. And it was actually the trail system I did on my very first ride. And you can do obstacles over and over again. And I
Okay.
think, to me, that's what helped builds confidence. From throttle control, that's the first obstacle, is this huge hill that it makes like a U shape. So you go all the way up, so you crest and have to come all the way back down, but it's not an up and over. You go
Okay.
around.
Okay.
So and just seeing it. And so I always go to the top and wait for you. And Matt's at the bottom to send you up. So he'll give you some words of advice about throttle control, and you know where he wants you to be, if you're going to be in first gear, or second gear, or just keep it
Mhm.
in drive mode. So we really worked on that yesterday because we were in sand. We did a lot of
Okay.
sand yesterday.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a mix of terrain here. So you get
Mhm.
your sand, you get your mud, you get your creek beds, you get dirt, rock garden. So literally you can kind of cover every little piece of terrain that you ever might come in contact with. So shout out to
Okay.
Badlands Off-Road Park. Really love you guys a lot.
Love it. Love it. And I'm so happy to see you opening the wheeling season. You got
Yes,
Big Red out.
I did.
She's, you're out there wheeling, and because I know we were talking about like she's put away for the winter and
She was,
yeah.
yes. And I will say we got home pretty late last night. It was, I mean, well, it was like 8 p.m., but that's late. It was dark, raining, and you know, you just appreciate a little bit more after you do invest in a build. So I went straight to a wash bay and was there for a solid 30 minutes, getting all that dirt, sand, everything else,
Yep.
out of every nook and cranny that I could see in the dark. And then I ignored it today. I'm not going to lie.
You always have to have that day, like after a week of
You
like,
do.
oh, unpacking and getting everything back out of the
Yes.
Jeep and doing all that stuff. So I think that gets a great segue into what we're going to talk about today is getting trail ready.
Yes.
As we talked about, it's opening season.
Whoop,
Yes.
whoop. Ding, 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 ding.
It's always exciting for us that love to go off-road, opening of the wheeling season. You've been prepping through the winter, putting new parts on,
Mm-hmm.
upgrading your builds, hopefully, doing some stuff to maintain your vehicle. and now it's time to get out on the
Yes.
trail. So
or taking classes
and learning more, or watching Chic Chat and learning from us, because that's where it's at. So, I'm preparing for a big trip,
Yes, you are.
so
What trip is that, Janet? What
I
is
am
it?
going to Easter Jeep Safari,
Yeah.
EJS, in April. I think we are officially less than a month out from that.
Oh my
And
God.
I am so excited. Have yet to pull my Jeep on the trailer yet, but
You will.
yeah, I don't want my first pull to be across country. So
No, get her on there and just go to the grocery store. I'm telling you, just start driving it around.
yeah,
I mean, your gas
yeah,
tank is going to hate you, but just start driving it around.
exactly.
Do you have your
So
straps yet? Your ratchet straps?
I have all my straps ready. I have everything ready to go. It's just a matter of throwing her on there and getting used to that. I already know how to hook up the trailer on my own. I know all the
Yes.
plugs and the little clips and chains and all that stuff. I have that down. The only thing that makes me nervous are right turns. Everything else I can do.
So driver's side turns?
Passenger, right?
Oh, passenger. Oh, sorry.
So especially like if you
Which one
have,
is it?
I know we need to talk in driver passenger. So if you have like a dedicated turning lane,
Yes.
and then it's like a small road, and you're doing that whole like straight as long as you can, and then turn right. I'm like,
oh yes.
Yeah. But we make it. We blow out some tires. It may have to happen. So I don't know.
I get it. I've done it.
Yeah. So
But
I had to do a
the
little
hauling
bit.
world. So
Yes, I know. I'm so excited. I did have to do a little bit of maintenance on the truck today. I got up and went to go start the truck to run an errand, and his driver front tire was low. So it had a giant bolt. It was right in the center, and
no.
it's repairable. So
Oh, good.
got that fixed. It kind of threw a wrench in my day because I was going to do some other stuff, but
Threw a
things
wrench.
happen.
Sorry.
Wrench.
It's the year of the puns, everybody. We said
It
this
really
on
is.
our opening show of 2025. It's the year of the puns.
Yes. Yes. So, seeing as this was your first trip out, because I haven't taken mine yet this year. So this was your first trip out. What did you do to prep to get on this trail?
So I'm actually going to tell, I think more from the point of view of our first timer, because that was something I was real hypersensitive to and aware of. And this was our first class of the year. And, Matt and I trying to start something new with high lift. And we really want to work with every type of wheeler. I just realized I was blocking my camera over here. So just so you guys know, we are live right now on Instagram and YouTube through Jeep Talk Show, as well as our personals. So hi, you're over here. You're giving a great Lady Gaga side profile for me. Yes.
Yes.
So one thing I really stressed to our newbies was, first of all, that full tank of gas. I had to ask it multiple times, and I'm so glad that I did, because one person almost forgot and they were able to stop before they got in. Because a lot of people came in day of. Some people came the night before. You could camp there or rent a cabin. Remember, I overland to Marriott's or indoor plumbing.
I need roof over my head. Yes.
Right. Like I need that indoor plumbing. So unless it's out in like Arizona or something with a gorgeous lake, I may overland.
Maybe. I mean, there's like a 5% chance.
Rubicon Trail.
If somebody like sets it up for me.
Yes.
And takes it down, because I ain't doing that either.
Honestly, it's like setup I'm cool with. It's the tear down.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. And don't make me pee in a hole. Like, I'm not doing that either.
Oh yeah. But just making sure that full tank of gas, and then also having a little bit of tools with you, zip ties. So that was part of the packing list. I asked for people to bring zip ties because we have to have flags at this park. So we provide the flag for you. We also had zip ties as well. Matt Moss was fantastic with that. But just the simple stuff to when you first get started. And then also basic recovery gear such as a toe strap and maybe a soft shackle and a D-ring. We really tried to stress to have those items before you came. They were featured in our class as well. Rhino USA, big fan, as well as Warren. So both those products we made sure a lot of our customers carry through the Wheelin' and More with Nat and Matt special, 20% off. And honestly, guys, Jeep Talk Show special, if you mention this episode and you call the shop, we'll make it happen. Sorry, Mike, if you're listening, which you're probably not listening. But yes, if you mention that you heard this on Chic Chat's Jeep Talk Show episode coming out tomorrow, I'll make it happen.
I know. And we need to get on your mic to be like, have you listened to an episode yet?
I asked about the RBF episode, actually. I was like, if you're going to listen to some real gold, our last episode, the first 6 minutes, oh my gosh.
They were amazing. I mean, that
Yes,
was like Pulitzer Prize type
it
stuff.
was.
I mean, we're dropping some bombs here, so yeah, for
And I
sure.
think the number one thing, honestly, guys, that you need for your first trip out, bougie, you know it, Rick
Yes,
Turner,
I will take it.
is
I don't care.
me too, is a positive attitude. So that was actually the first thing I
Mhm.
always led with the packing list is a positive attitude. Because if you have that, you're going to make it through just fine. And one thing we always try to strive for is we don't want you to be scared. We want you to feel your adrenaline, which makes you excited. Because there
Right.
really is a difference. And there was a couple people on our trip yesterday. They did a ride the weekend prior with another like Jeep group in a totally different location. It was just a trail rides of all different levels, and they got scared. And they really felt the difference between the adrenaline of learning versus being scared. Hi, buddy.
I know.
I've
We have an
missed
experience.
you.
My
Never
boy.
scared when he's around. Oh, hi,
I know.
handsome.
I know. He's like, "Ooh, who's that over there?"
I know. Hi, darling. I will meet
Yeah,
you
and
eventually.
I think you made a good point. Like, it's okay to
Mhm.
be scared if it's your first time on the trail, the first time that you're learning to do stuff, but as long as you're positive about it and like
Yes.
not just like, well, this is gonna suck, and then I'm gonna be terrible. Like, just go out
Yes.
there with a positive mindset and be scared, and before you know it, all that nervousness is just gonna just fall away. It's gonna be
Yes.
amazing. Yeah.
There was one young lady, her name is Kamisa. She's fantastic. So she came to my first class back in January and just positive from right off the bat. And really, really wants to get into it. She had a life-changing event and now she's like, I'm living my life to the fullest. And she was literally smile. I could see her in my rearview mirror, in my side mirrors, her smile the entire time, just like
I love
coming through her
that.
windshield. And I think that, I mean, it just made me so happy. And I actually put her in my Jeep for an obstacle. She was in a JL Sahara, and I
Okay.
think it's like a 23 maybe.
Mhm.
Beautiful. Oh my gosh. I mean, gorgeous. Right off. I mean, it's all these vehicles are pretty much right off the lot, and that's what's so amazing. Every Jeep is so capable right off the lot. It's all
Yes, they
about that
are.
tire placement. It
It
really
really
is.
is. It
Yep.
really is. And you learn the technique along the way. You learn, what to do, what not to do. Yay! They just didn't do it together. But
I
look,
know. And this is little
we have
boy
dual
too.
cat.
Hi guys.
Yes.
Stolen cats. Here we go. Okay, bye. Um He's not as cute. Like yours hugs you. Like he just
Yes.
tolerates me.
He
Like
is absolutely and just infatuated with me, which I
mine's
will
still
take
a
that.
baby. Yes.
Yeah.
Like he's like a teenager now where he's just like, oh, mom, stop it.
I just realized mine is 11. I
Oh,
just realized, I
you
know.
still have
But
another good 10 years. Let's be
yeah,
honest.
absolutely. So the last cat that I had before this one, I put her down at about 19 and a half. So we have some time.
Oh,
I'm not
so
like,
that's what you're telling me. Mine are 3. So,
yes,
okay.
forever,
Gotcha.
forever.
So it was pretty neat when I
Um,
put her in my Jeep. And I was so happy she said yes because she did the
mm,
obstacle. It was we've been working on the up and over. So really steep hill and then coming
mhm,
back down. Well, what if you're going up a steep hill and then you encounter an obstacle in the middle of it, a rock
mm,
obstacle, and you have to pivot. So you have to start thinking about what you're doing. So you're not just going uphill, you have to also now climb something that maybe is a little bit off camber. What's on the other side if you can't see, how do you handle that? So we really try to put them in different situations. So for her to do it in her rig and then come down, I said, do you want to try it in this one? And she was like, really? Are you sure? I said, yes, get in there.
yeah,
And it was just so neat to watch her, well, to watch both, honestly, my child, the red Jeep,
yes.
and her take it off. And there she goes. And oh my gosh, it was amazing. So it's just really neat. It's neat to be able to offer that as well. And I mean, Janet, I want to see you drive red. Are you kidding me?
I know, I
You
know.
need to Charlie pedal that thing.
Oh, I know. We talked about it this weekend. So, Zabo had a party at his house last night to celebrate St. Patrick's Day. There were bagpipes.
I did see it. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. I was wondering if you were there. Oh, that's awesome. Yes.
I was there. And so we talked about how, the little Charlie pedal incident, because we were talking about the brake to
Yeah.
people that aren't neat people. They're more of like fast car type
Yes.
people.
I called
And
someone the
how,
Kelly pedal yesterday. She has the Kelly pedal. Shout out to Kelly. You did amazing, girl. But you have a
yeah,
Kelly pedal for sure.
yes, yes. So, yes, I'm still learning throttle control, but it's not like
It's
I'm just like
hard.
balls to the wall, but it is hard and it is something I'm still learning. I mean, guys, I've only been sailing for less than 2 years.
That's
So
true. I always
I've
forget that about you.
I know. I know. And I'm great with tire placement. I'm great with finding the lines. I'm great with like, hey, let's just go do it. Let's at least try it. And we can winch up or back out, if
Yep.
not. But yes, my throttle control needs some work, but it's not terrible.
It's
And that's
not
not
definitely.
why I've ever broken anything. I haven't broken anything because of my throttle control ever. Like,
It's okay.
not a thing for me. It's just, I like to smoke the tires a little bit and get after it. There's no crawling for me. It's just like, let's go do it.
But
So
now you have a locker in the rear.
I do have a locker in the rear, so that's going to help me. So when we're talking about prepping to go on trips, last year I was doing maybe a wheeling trip every month, like,
oh yeah.
And so it was all about changing the oil. I am aggressive at the grocery store on my basket. Like, get out of the way. Like,
You're so funny.
you're taking up the aisle.
Yeah.
I drive my grocery basket, and I think this is true for everybody, how you drive your car.
I love you called a grocery basket, by the way. That's a good one. Is that a Texas thing?
Buggy.
A buggy? I like it. It sounds better than cart.
I call it a buggy.
Cart.
Cart. Your cart.
You call them grocery carts.
Grocery carts. I call them buggies.
I like
go get the buggy.
No, that's bougie. I like that.
I know. It's because, princess, the whole princess thing. Anyway, so I think last year when I was going on wheeling trips back to back, just trying to get the seat time under my belt, it was more about changing the oil, making sure everything was lubed and ready to go, changing the gear oil, all that stuff. And then, of course, making sure you had your recovery stuff and then the snacks, right? We've talked about snacks.
Oh my gosh. I had snacks in my driver's seat. Matt and I both did. A lovely young lady named Shannon figured out our favorite trail snack. She was a participant yesterday. And we began to leave after airing down tires. And there was a bag of Starburst in my seat and then Sour Patch Kids in his seat. And I was like, that was so sweet. It was very, very sweet.
That is very sweet.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's all about the trail snacks because they're for who knows how long.
I know.
So it's about the trail snacks and then having the cooler, nice and iced down and have your water.
Okay. You're going to have to break down before you go to Moab and get a rough country refrigerator.
Gosh, I want to.
Well, you're going to buy it from High Lift Off Road anyway, so it's fine.
How much are those?
So they're a little over 300, but worth every penny. Every penny.
I've seen people that have the refrigerators in the back, and it's just like they just pull it out and everything's in there.
Yeah. So you don't have to do that. You just put it in your back seat. So I put mine right behind the driver's seat. It is so easy.
Is it just a plug-in?
It's just, it plugs right in your cigarette lighter and the JK and the JLs too. But I charge it the night before inside. So then it's already really cold. Because I know, well, at least it'll probably do this in yours too, but it will turn off when your Jeep is off.
Oh, okay.
But you're running it all day anyway. JLs, it will stay on because they draw a little bit on the battery. That's how the JL works. Worth every penny. Amazing. Your stuff's not soggy, like all that.
Yeah. See, that's the part that I'm worried about running into, like, taking sandwiches or whatever. And because I've done this on regular trails, non-Moab stuff, and trying to put them like in Ziploc bags and trying to keep it from.
And you'll get water in there every time.
Nobody likes soggy bread.
Ooh. So, we do our excursions out west. We have Moab all inclusive coming up. And by the way, guys, I have one spot left. One spot. Anyone in the country can do these trips. I think, Janet, you should.
I know. If I wasn't going in April, I'd totally go.
But we are offering, we have one more spot left. I opened up another spot. So we would love to see someone take advantage of that. I actually had a young lady in North Ohio, so up by Cleveland. She loves a solo travel and she totally booked the trip. I have never talked to her before. She went on our website and booked it and I saw it come through and I'm like, who is this? Like, I thought it was the coolest thing that she did that. And she has a really good friend that she met solo traveling in Colorado and her friend is going to drive in for the trip and be her passenger.
That is fun.
Yeah. I think it's you never know who you're going to meet on trips, especially if you solo travel. I think it takes major guts. It's a goal of mine this year. I might try a solo travel moment. You never know. If I can get a day off, Mike, if you are listening, that'd be great.
No, he's not. So we'll just have to text him and let him know.
He doesn't submit it the old-fashioned way. So
pigeon. We'll send him a pigeon.
Yes. Oh my gosh. But yeah, we have one spot left. But on these Moab trips, we put those rough country fridges in everyone's Jeeps. And so that way your lunches stay perfect all day. And we make lunch on the trail too on certain days. And it's amazing. They're amazing. So,
You know who would work best because the JL state, it draws from the battery
yeah,
power. You know who needs to have that on the trails because I'm always wheeling with him.
Zeba.
Yes.
Yeah. Come on, Texas.
Mark, if you're watching,
come on, Mark.
we're going to be on, I think we're going to go, I'm going to be with him every day at Moab, except for Wednesday. Wednesday, I'm doing a women's only trail ride with Nitto to Top of the World. So
That's so cool.
So excited about that.
Oh my gosh. You got to have to do the famous photo.
Of course.
Yes.
Of course. We need to. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
And so
I'm going to try to sneak in as your passenger on that, just so you know.
Yes. I absolutely need you there. I absolutely need you there.
I'm working on it. I would love to get my airline ticket. So that hasn't happened yet. So we're still.
Come on.
It's going to happen. Yeah. It'll happen. Yeah. I know it will.
Yeah. Zabo is in the middle of planning our entire week right now. He's already sent out, the group text of what are we going to do here? What are we going to do there? And I'm like, I don't care what we do, but Wednesday I have plans already. So
yes, you do. Yes, you do. No, that's so awesome.
Yep. So right now it is prepping for this big trip. Maybe have a shakedown run between now and then. Still trying to work out the details. Yep. As everybody knows, if you're watching,
shakedowns are important.
Got to have a shakedown run.
You do.
This is a new locker, so I want to see how it feels, how it grabs, all that stuff. Yes. Gears are officially broken in, so I will be changing the gear oil this week.
Yes. So tell us about that. So how many miles do you have to put on your gears before you do that?
Yes. So when you get new gears, and we've talked about this on other episodes, but if you haven't watched those, like Michael Bailey, then we can refresh your memory. So 500 miles is your break-in period if you get these gears from the manufacturer without their pre-break-in process. So they can do it there, and I think you pay like an extra $80-$100 to have them pre-break it in, and so when they come, they're ready to go. You don't have to do all this. Breaking in is a pain in the butt, but is absolutely worth it.
We assist with that sometimes when we do re-gears and everything. We will do that for you if you would like, or we just tell you to bring it back after 500. So
right.
And no highway driving. Did you do highway driving in yours?
No. So, I did after the first 200 miles.
Okay.
Then I took it, but I refuse to go above 65 now. So, first 500 miles is your break-in for your new gears. What the process is with that is you don't want to keep it a consistent speed. So you're going to take it on, side roads, neighborhood roads. You're going to get it up and you're going to come back down, because not only are you trying to break in the gears going forward. I'm going to try to speak in really simple terms, mainly because I don't know the technical terms.
That's what I would speak in. So you're fine.
Yes. So the gears going forward, when they're moving your shafts forward, you also have, like, I think it's called backlash, when you let off the gas and it pulls back this way. So you have two sides that you're going to try to break in. And so you want to vary your speeds. You want to go up and bring it up to a good, speed. And then you want to bring it back and let it come down. You're going to piss off the people behind you, and the people behind you are going to be like, what are you doing? They think you're drunk. Yeah. But you want to go up and down. You do want to do this for about 15 or 20 minutes, bring it home and let the gears cool down all the way before them back out again. And the reason for this is that you want the molecules that are in this metal in the gears. You want them to, what is the word I'm looking for? It's like they're going to solidify. Like they do this weird transformation when you heat them up and cool them down. And then you're going to get off all those little metal shavings that come from the factory, from the manufacturer, and get those out. So what we did during this process is halfway through the break-in process, we've already changed the gear oil halfway through.
Oh, nice.
The last part of it, it would have nice clean gear oil to get me to 500 miles. After about 250, you want to take it on the highway, stay in the slow lane because you're going to piss some people off. You want to bring it up to about 65, and then you're going to let off the gas and let it go back to 45. And you're going to do this over and over and over and over again for about a good 20 minutes. Bring it home, let it sit overnight, let them cool down. And you keep doing that. And you do no hauling. You do no trails. You don't go above 65 while you're doing all this, because if you want to preserve the life of those gears, this is the proper way to break it in. Some places will tell you, oh, just go off and do whatever for 500 miles and come back and that's not. if you buy gears, like from example, mine came from Revolution, they have a whole instruction sheet and it's even on their website to tell you what you need to be doing. So I will be changing my gear oil this week. I've passed 500 miles already. Yay.
Super excited.
Super excited. 500. You never want 500 miles to pass, so quickly. Similar to when they make knives and they catch it in the fire. Yes, it hardens the steel. That's what I'm trying to. That's what.
Thank you, Rick Turner. Appreciate that. That's so true.
I'm not firing on all cylinders today, but you're working with metal. You're working with steel. I know. Let's bring this helps me think properly when I bring my
get me started over here. Should I put my hat back on? Nope.
You don't have it anymore.
I don't. No, the hat is gone.
The bangs are grown out.
Definitely the bangs are gone.
Yeah.
No, but thank you for sharing that because that really does mean, I mean, you can do re-gears, you can add lockers, and you have to have that break-in period. And it's so important to really take care of it in that first 500 miles.
Yes. And I learned today that, so there's different types of gear oil that you can use.
There is.
And according to the locker that you have, the manufacturer of the locker will say whether you can use synthetic or not, or conventional, because it depends on how their gears work with that.
Yes.
So I learned that mine takes conventional, and there's something like a non-abrasive. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just learned about this today.
I need to find out. Now, I don't even know that, to be honest.
Yeah.
Where Matt Moss, can you come on, please, and go live with us? Because that would be nice.
Yes. If you're here, join our Instagram.
Because I have the Yukon gears with ARB air lockers. I love the air. I know you have the E. I love the air.
Yes.
It's the best.
Yep. So Charlie is sitting right now. I'm trying not to drive her until I can get this gear oil changed. Because when you do change it after this break-in period, you're going to see a little bit of glitter in there. It's those little metal shavings. And this is the only time that it's okay to see that in there.
Isn't that the truth? Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Because after this break-in period and you go to change, if you're wheeling a lot, maybe change it, a couple times during the wheeling season. But if are you running out of wine?
Yeah. And I was, to our Instagram over there.
Here you go.
Sorry guys. Instagram's over here
yeah. And my Instagram's on this. Yeah.
Yes.
Mine's that way. There we go.
Thank you, Nicole, for sticking with us. I know you're there. So
I know. Y'all aren't asking questions. I need y'all to ask questions.
Yeah, can we get
if after the break-in period you go to change your diff fluid, your gear oil, and you see those little flakes, those little glitters, it's probably time to take it back to the shop and have them look at your gears and inspect them because it's
absolutely. And it might not be the shop's fault. So it could just be a faulty gear or a faulty locker.
Or user error because you're abusing the crap out of those gears.
Yes. When I re-geared, I thought I could still go as fast as I used to with my stock, and definitely you cannot. But I will say with yesterday, because I run the MBRP exhaust now, and we were going to put a dampener on it, but after yesterday, I don't think I want to anymore because everyone thought I was in a freaking V8. And they're like, man, what engine's under that hood? And I'm thinking, what? It's a 3.7, 3.5. Oh my God, I sound so dumb right now.
3.6?
It's my 3.6. Yes. It's my stock, 2017 engine, but with that exhaust, vroom.
Yes. And
we actually really flexed it this time for the first time. We've never actually, I got it back, in August, and then kept show. It was show season essentially. So doing all those expos and everything, and then October we started wheeling, but I wasn't really doing obstacles to push it. And so finally Matt and I pushed it on Friday doing our pre-runs with some different rock obstacles. There's one called Axle Breaker and the Notch. And it definitely goes by its name. I have never been able to do it because of my last setup. I wasn't big enough. I didn't have lockers. It was, all these things. Oh my God, the Maxxis razors. Holy moly. Like I literally put those things at the base and Matt was like, just put it in first gear and watch what happens, Natalie. And I was like, okay. And I didn't even have to press on the gas. She just started climbing on her own.
I love it.
Axle Breaker Janet.
Yeah, I know.
Yes, she was. Honestly,
it's too soon.
It's definitely too soon. But I couldn't believe what I did. And I was able to text my first guides I ever had when I went there on my first trip. And I was like, you guys are never going to believe what I just did. So I was pretty excited, but we definitely found out we need to move my reservoirs with my shocks possibly or add a spacer. So Matt's kind of contemplating what we're going to do. And, because it was rubbing so bad and all you could hear was like that sound. Because I was stuffing it, but it's still, the reservoirs are tough. Like, I mean, if you're running shocks with a reservoir, you have to really be strategic where you place them.
It takes
I
up a
know
lot of real estate in that
it
wheel well.
does. And
It really
some
does.
are longer than others.
Mhm.
Just, it's like the men in our life. Some are longer than others. But sorry, we do have explicit on our episodes. That's probably why. But honestly, mine are it's probably the longest I've ever seen. Because like,
Oh.
I mean, sorry. God, this is it's not getting any better. I'm sorry.
Are they really like wide? Is the girth pretty good? We're talking about shocks, reservoirs.
I can't. No, actually, it's really
Mine never.
skinny.
Oh, well, as long as it gets you over the rock.
Oh my gosh.
But
But
does it
it's just
make you happy?
it makes me extremely happy, and I got to really test them in the dunes. Mike actually asked me, he goes, "Have you run it in the dunes yet to really feel those 8100s?" And I was like, "No, but now I'm going to." So we're definitely not there, and I was able to whip around.
Awesome.
But I do love them. But it was just interesting where it's all about, you got to figure out, the goal is after major build, please go pre-run, go figure out what you need to do. If you are lucky enough to have a shop that does that with you, even better. Honestly, I
Yes.
feel like ask the shop where you do your upgrades at. I think more than half the shops will be willing to go with you because these guys and women that wrench, they take such pride in their work. And I know my team really does. Like, they call them their children, their babies. So, they don't want to see us come back with damage and things like that. So, especially me, I don't want to see that.
Absolutely. I mean, because that's their signature, right? So like it's the
It
same
is.
when I do graphics on,
Yes.
somebody's Jeep or,
Mhm.
I also do businesses and I do their doors.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that they're high quality. And so I may go back and visit, these clients and be like, so,
Oh,
hey,
yeah.
how's it doing? Do you need any, do we need to redo something? Do we need a cut? So a lot of times with vinyl, if you have really sharp points on a
Yeah.
vehicle, as you're cleaning it, those points will start to come up. So if we need to either cut them or redo just that one letter or whatever it may be, that's my work on that
Oh,
item,
yeah.
whether it be a Jeep
Absolutely.
or door. So I want to take pride in it. I want to know that it's working the way that it, as a business owner, that's what you want. That's
Yes.
your stuff. And so the same thing with these shops, they want to know that you're putting it to the test and it's working the way they designed it.
Yes.
Especially, if they're out there, welding and cutting and doing all the stuff, they want to make sure that it's working. So,
Absolutely.
yeah, they will always want feedback. And if there's anything going on, then that's what you do.
Yeah.
We talked about last time that I did a JK or JL brake conversion
Yes.
on Charlie. And the rotors are a lot bigger. We like them big. So,
Yes.
but it also requires, the placement of the wheel speed sensors and brake lines. And if you're on a lift and you're doing wheeling, steel braided brake lines are the way to go.
Mm-hmm.
But we found out pretty quickly after, I had a traction control and ABS light come on
Oh, yeah.
that my tire was rubbing on one of those setups. And
Oh.
so getting it back to the shop, you could see on the inside of the tire itself where the steel braided brake line was rubbing on it. And then it had worn out the wheel speed sensor. So it's those minor adjustments that I'm glad
Wow.
that quickly, that it was within a week. And I know when it happened because I was making a driver's side turn.
Mm-hmm.
And it came on and I'm like, what in the world? Like, what's going on? So it's little things like that you need to get all that straightened out before you hit a big trail. So I'm glad we found out sooner rather than later.
Yes.
Being at Moab and trying to get, wheel speed sensor and all that stuff changed is not going to be the best time to do it. So little things like that. Yeah. So prepping for wheeling trips, if you have RCVs, make sure that they're greased.
We just came full circle, didn't we?
We did. Are we going to be in Mountain? No, I'm not getting there until Monday.
And honestly, I have no idea. I would love to be there Saturday. So maybe, Rick, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm not getting there until Monday. Like it's literally rolling in, taking Charlie off the trailer and going wheeling Monday. So that sounds fun though.
Yeah. Speaking of EJS, Charlie, I'm sorry.
I answered him in
Janet. Something kind of cool that happened this weekend, yesterday.
What was that?
We were in what's called the Rock Quarry. And earlier in the day, I saw this red two-door Jeep kind of buzzing around. They were wheeling alone, but they didn't seem like they were alone. But you never want to wheel alone.
Never.
Rule.
Ever, ever, ever.
This park is a little bit different because you're rarely alone. I mean, you are seeing people nonstop at this park, but still, I have a buddy. And so we were working on this it's called the waterfall. So it's a really steep, short rock face. And it's normally, there's always water coming down it. Not like gushing water, but it's always normally a little bit wet. So you have that type of terrain with the sand and the dirt below. So your tires are probably, normally there's, the tread is already, stuffed in there. Right. So I'm filming Matt and we're both working with, the customers there. And, here comes this gentleman. And he just comes walking up and I look out in the distance and there's the red two-door. He came from that. And I'm like, okay, who is this? And so now he's just looking at me and smiling like I know him. And I'm like, hi. And then even Matt was like, howdy, sir. Like, what's up?
Right. Who are you?
Yeah. And he goes, well, I'm actually looking for Natalie. And so I was like, hi. And it was Chip with JTS.
Oh my gosh, how fun.
And I'm like, and so I'm up on this huge obstacle squealing down at him because we're spread out across the country. So
we are.
I mean, like literally I've never met Janet ever in person. No, I just want to hug her so bad. So when we actually do get to see each other, so I know at SEMA, I got to meet some of the JTS family and I have Chris that's close by here. He's in Michigan. I'm in Ohio, but it's exciting when all of a sudden like the worlds collide together. So here he was, he had a JTS flag on his Jeep even. He does Easter Jeep Safari. That's where his flag came from, actually, with I think from last year maybe or the year before. But it was just really exciting. So thank you, Chip. He saw actually, I guess I made a post that I was there. He and his wife came out, and they wheel at Badlands actually quite often. I think they live only about an hour from there. Okay. And I had no idea, which that's about 4 hours from me. So yeah, but pretty exciting. So thanks, Chip.
I love that.
And even Matt was like, oh my God, Natalie, seriously? And I was like, you guys have no idea. JTS is so cool. So
we are. It's a little exclusive club that you can be a part of.
Yes, you can by logging into xjtalk.com. Also YouTube. Please follow the YouTube. Honestly, guys, the YouTube is it's so entertaining.
YouTube is where it's at.
It is. It's where the party is. It's where the knowledge is.
Where the big hair is. And we are very animated. You get to see our cats.
The cats.
The cats, not our cats. You get to see the cats.
Oh my God.
The cats.
I wish I could grab one and I can't. So yes, thank you, Chip, for showing up, and your wife was lovely. But he also works with Jeep. He guides with Jeep. They do an academy at Badlands. And he was lovely enough to extend an invitation for me to be passenger with his wife. And I really hope I can do it. I hope the dates work out. So the Jeep Academy does come to Badlands and they spend a couple days there teaching. So if you guys don't know what that is, please look it up online. It's the Jeep Academy. Even though I would love to have you come do my academy with Wheelin' and More with Nat and Matt, which we do have more rides being scheduled as of tomorrow. So I got to wheel with Janet on the extreme trails at Hidden Falls. Oh, yes, she rocked it. Duh.
And Rick was amazing. I will say, like, he is so tenacious and he was just like, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. And he followed us up all of the obstacles. So yes, Rick, that was an epic trip. Yeah, he was there and he saw me struggling on my 35s, but I did it because like I said, I'm that little sister that just like, let's go do this.
Yep. I had a lot of people on 35s on this trip, but honestly, 33s were killing it. Her name is Kelly. She did the Kelly pedal, and she was on 33s, two-door Rubicon, and it's that Stingray. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yes.
And that's something we really try to teach too, is how to protect your investment. Because because you're leaving the pavement, but like you want to protect this investment. I went to OnlyFans for cats. Boy, was I confused. No kidding, Tony from Jeep Talk Show.
Wrong Jeep girl.
Yeah, definitely the wrong one. But hey, I love what they're doing.
Hey, you know what? If you can make money off of it, go right ahead. I'm not here to judge you because I got bills to pay too. So,
and honestly, like they figured out the secret sauce, and man, it's actually, I will say, more power to you. It's impressive. Yep. So hard working. It's hard work. So
it is. It's hard
fun,
for sure.
Yeah. Let's shine a light on that.
Yeah.
You guys know what I mean.
Yes.
So yeah, so thank you, Chip. It was pretty exciting. And if you guys do see us out and about, we really want to hear from you and talk to you. Someone did notice a Jeep Talk Show sticker on my tailgate, and I did have some stickers with me, so I was able to give them out. So pretty exciting. So if you do see us, we normally have some JTS apparel swag for you. So let us know. We'd love to get to
Absolutely.
you.
Follow our Instagram. So where can we find you on Instagram? Let's lay it all out. It's been a minute since you've had to say it. I know.
Here we go. Gypsy _ JK _ red 4x4. Yeah. Oh no, was that wrong?
No, that's right. I think
That
it's
was
just
right,
long.
Tony. That was right.
And of course,
Janet, where can we find you?
You can find me at charlie.jku. As always, we go live. Not always, but most of the time we're going to go live on Instagram while we're recording. And I'm posting, my adventures and what I'm doing with Charlie. If you want to follow her build, you can always do that too. And if you can help me get my followers up, I mean, I've grown these organically. So I'm at about 1,300.
Yeah.
I'm okay with, I worked really hard on that. So
just don't start over like I did.
I know. We just
word to the wise.
Names.
You can just change names. I wish I would have met Janet sooner. I didn't realize you could just change names. Yes. But I will say it's been kind of fun starting over, kind of. Just trying to figure out, everyone has an online presence now. Whether you like it or not, you do. And that's okay. And I mean, I don't know this. I love where we're at right now with technology and where we're headed. And
absolutely.
I never would have met you if it wasn't for this. So
I know.
Literally, guys, just, we will do like our FaceTime wine dates during the week. And it's amazing. I literally feel like I have met you before, even though I haven't.
I know. We talk all the time. We're texting. We're catching up. We've gotten each other through some pretty good stuff. And it's like Natalie is like living this parallel life and we're just apart.
It is.
And so it's amazing. But you can follow me on Instagram at charlie.jku. I also go live on TikTok every once in a while. Like I did a Get Ready With Me, getting ready for this one. And so I was like, hey, go catch me on my Instagram. So I go live just randomly. If I'm studying, sometimes I'll just throw on the live and you can
I love that you do that. I kind of caught you doing that. Remember that? And I was in bed doomsday scrolling. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh my God, this is the best. I was like, wait, she really does do it. And it was super fun. It was like just being with my friend. I was like, well, this is cool.
Exactly. So I'll go live randomly and you can catch me on there and ask questions and I'll answer some of them because some of them are really weird, but we have to use
thank you guys for subscribing, not only to our personal pages, but also to the Jeep Talk Show page. We are about to hit 4,000 subscribers on YouTube. Yes. Who will be the 4,000 subscriber? Say that fast. Yes. 10 times fast. That would be pretty neat. It could be you. It's kind of like, are you going to be the first to buy a gear? That's all I'm going to say. Oh. And make sure you check me out at High Lift Off Road as well. Though now that is my true passion page. Yes. I do all
really hard at it.
Social media and I'm marketing with Javier. So please check out High Lift Off Road on Instagram and Facebook. There's some really good stuff on there too, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm excited for our upcoming trips. I'm excited to maybe finally meet you in Moab because our other trip didn't work out as much as we planned. But when a cat not included.
I know. Definitely not included.
No, this is my baby.
Oh my gosh, I love it so much.
So you can go to trails, but if you are going to EJS, please try to look out for us. I'll have Charlie in all her new graphics. You can go to charlie.jku and see the new graphics that I put on Precision Graphics and Marketing. She has a whole new look. She got a fresh look for EJS. So
it looks so good. Oh my God. I'm not just saying that because I love her and know her. Like it's bad. It's good.
Yeah. She a baddie. She a baddie.
Oh yeah. So Janet, where can we find you this week coming up?
This coming week is a spring break week. And so I am all over the place, but I think there are some car meets in the Dallas-Fort Worth area coming up this coming weekend. And so that's where you can find me, obviously doing those fundraisers and stuff like that. What do you have going
on? This week, it's kind of we're working on some gear project and things like that. And then the, Ultimate 4x4 Adventure is coming up next weekend with their women's wheeling weekend. If you guys haven't signed up yet, I think they have a couple extra spots down at Windrock, Tennessee. That would be absolutely amazing. So if you guys are looking for another trip, that's a good one to go on. But we have a couple cars and coffees coming up too. And I'm working on that Moab trip and also Rubicon Trail, July 13th. High Lift Off Road, Rubicon Trail, all-inclusive trip. please shoot me a message. I'll let you know. It's going to be a good one. So I will have to camp for 3 days.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know. Zabo's trying to plan, or he is planning a Rubicon trip for September or October of this year.
He needs to come on mine. I will get his Jeep transported. I love this stuff.
Hey, you're friends with him on Facebook now, so send him a message and be like, bro. But to answer Rick's question, I don't have a flag holder for my Jeep. I don't have anything for a flag. So if somebody wants to send me recommendations so I can put a flag, then Zabo has a flag, so he'll probably be flying his. But I don't have one. I don't have a flag holder.
TerraFlex makes one for the tire carrier. I'm not sure what you don't run a tire carrier, do you?
I don't have a tire carrier. So I've seen some that have it's like the RV ones that you can suction cup to the side. Yeah. But I have a soft top, so I'm pretty limited on what I can run.
I had to run a flag this weekend, like a trail flag, and I had to zip tie it to my spare tire, which I didn't really want to do because I didn't want to scratch it. But it actually didn't scratch it. But interesting. You're gonna probably have the top off, aren't you?
Smile. That's gonna be the bat signal. That's what your flag. I know.
You can always zip tie it to your pillar in the back if you have your top down. So
that's true.
Yeah,
but I don't know what kind of flag it is. Yeah. I know there's a lot of ifs. I have no idea what's going on. I just know what day I'm leaving and what day I'm coming back. That's it.
I love it. And you're getting your gas card ready. So
saving money with each paycheck to put aside for gas money.
Girl, I get it. Well, guys,
I'm so excited to have seen you, Natalie. We had a great week, and it's another Chick Chat episode. And we kind of did them back to back.
I know. I kind of liked it though. I did. Yeah. So, all right, guys. Well, that's it for this episode of Chick Chat. We hope you've been inspired by the stories, insights, and tips shared today. Remember, there are no limits to what you can achieve when you embrace your passion and fearlessly chase your dreams. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe to the Jeep Talk Show so you'll never miss an episode. Remember, embrace the thrill of the off-road, embody your own unique style, and always keep pushing the boundaries of what you thought possible because anything is possible. Yes! Yes! And remember, Rough Country Fridges and the Rhino USA deal. Check us out, Highlands Off-Road. Mention Janet and Natalie. Here we go.
Broadcasting since 2010.
And xjtalk.com. You can catch all of our episodes on there.
Absolutely. I swear, if you guys really do say Chick Chat to High Lift, I will get you a discount.
There you go.
You're my friend. You're my new friend.